Hi, welcome to episode 65 of the PassioKnit Spinner podcast. My name is Tracy. You can find me as Schnüffelt here on Ravelry and Instagram. There's a Ravelry group for the podcast where a lot of nice things are happening. So come on over, join the group, check it out. There's a blog that I should take better care of. And thank you so much for being here. And thank you all so much for the support you showed me on Instagram these past few weeks. It is very appreciated, and I feel like I need that right now. So yeah, let's not whine more. I've been whining for weeks, and I'm kind of over it. So let's jump into the knitting. I'm not wearing hand knits except for socks today because it's actually quite warm in the house. Also, it's really freezing outside. We have a huge amount of snow, which is awesome because I love snow. But I'm not able to go outside in the snow. So yeah, I'm enjoying it from inside. Knitting in the past. I finished several things. First thing I knit up was a pair of mittens for my son. I talked about wanting to make some for him last week or in the last podcast, and I did. This is the leftover yarn from his scarf. I have no idea what yarn it was. And some gray 6-ply sock yarn. The pattern is The World's Simplest Mittens by Tin Can Knits. It's a free download on Ravelry, and I just used that pattern and I attached an I-cord to make them stay together so he can't lose them. Oh, great. Not 2 minutes in and it's already starting to freeze up. And I just do not know why this is happening. So yeah, I knit these with US 3s 3.25 millimeter needles, and as you can see, he's wearing them so much they already start to felt, so they will not last forever, I guess. Then, oh my, I'm so out of breath and I don't know why. Maybe a sip of tea will help. Okay, next up I have 2 pairs of finished socks. I finished my Christmas Eve cast on socks. I was joining in the Little Bobbins Knits Christmas Eve socks knit along, and these are my socks. I used a Gale's Art sock blank in the colorway Christmas Tree. They look like this. And yeah, they were my first single ply sock blank that I ever knit up, and I really like how they turned out. They are for me for a change, and they're very pretty. They had red Christmas balls stamped on, and they now look like blood splatter on my sock. I like them. I think they are pretty. Like I said, it's a Gale's Art sock blank, and I used US 2s 2.75 millimeter needles, top down 64 stitches. Just my normal sock recipe. Nothing special. And then I picked up another work in progress pair of socks, and I had finished the cuffs and a little bit of the leg on both of these. And I took them out and finished them. So these are my Dhabi and Winkie socks, pair number 1, the pair that started my Dhabi and Winkie sock craze before Christmas. And they turned out really nice. I did finish them in my size, but I am going to put these in my Etsy shop. They are a German size 38, which is I think a US 6. I'm not sure, I have to check, but it will be in the shop description if you're interested. I used leftover sock yarn, no idea what it was. The only thing I know is that it's hand dyed. And like I said, with my normal socks, just US 2s, 2.75 millimeter needles, 64 stitches, top down with the twisted cast on. And, you know, just did them opposite of each other. So that's pair number 3 for the year. And yeah, it feels good to have that many socks off the needles already, because they were all started before the year started. So it just feels good to have things off the needles. And the last thing that I finished is this blanket for my son. I did participate in a blanket square swap a few years ago with a podcast, and I received only 3 of the 4 squares that I should have received, and the 3 squares that I got did not have the size they should have had. So I was quite angry and just threw them in a corner and didn't take them out in forever. When I was pregnant, I decided to finish it up for my son, because, you know, that would mean that I only had to knit another square and be done with it. So I knit up another square, and it was just still a smidge too small for my likings. So yeah, here's what I came up with. This one here, that one is the one that I knit. The other 3 are the ones that I received in the mail. The strip down the middle here was knit using the Alice Starmore pattern for the St. Brigitte sweater. And I had to make a lot of fudgements, yeah, let's call them fudgements, to make these squares go together. As you can see, all the green in between was to balance out the sizes. And yeah, the only thing I did really to finish it off this week was to finish the border. So it has been done for a while. It just never really was completely finished. So yeah, this is off the needles. It feels good to have it off the needles, and it's for my son. And he will use it until he gets too big for it. And what I wanted to show you with all of my finished objects is my new knitting journal. I've been showing my pages on Instagram. And I just wanted to show the pages for the things that I just finished. So this one was my page for the mittens. I just wrote down the pattern, attached some yarn, and with the yarn, as I used leftovers, these bits and pieces that you see here are the pieces that I had cut off after weaving in the ends, because I had nothing left. When I finished the second thumb, I had that much left to weave in. So these are actually the pieces that would have gone to the waste. So yeah, that's my page for the mittens. This is the page for the blanket with the ball band for the yarn that I used for the border. And the samples that I put in are for the border yarn and the yarn that I used for my patch. Then I have my Christmas Eve cast on socks. I'm showing these pages for as long as I am doing it, because I was looking on the internet for some references for a knitting journal, and I couldn't really find anything. So if someone wants to find something about knit journals, I think it's just nice to show them a little bit longer so you can see what I did write down. And that's the page for the Dhabi and Winkie socks. So it's nothing really special, but it's just, I decided to do it that way, and it feels right to me at the moment. What I'm also having is this page. I'm a list person. I love lists. So here's a list for yarn income and outtake, if that's a word. Just to see if I manage to do a stash down this year, because it's what I want to do. So yeah, my new knitting journal. I'm going to show it every time I finish something. I'm going to show the page for it, because I think it's a nice thing to have in my podcast. So yes, 4 finished objects this week. Now for knitting in the present, I only have 2 things. First thing is my welted slouch. This was my plan, did not. What's going on here? Okay. So yeah, I am working on that right now, and something is really weird with this camera, and I'm freaking out. So, Welted Slouch by Stephen West. I have knit 4 pattern repeats, and I have to go to 7. Although I'm thinking about maybe doing 8. I don't know yet. And yeah, this is what the pattern looks like. It's a paid for pattern on Ravelry. And my other thing is new as well, and I did talk about it in my December favorites video, because I told you that I really wanted to cast this pattern on, and I just didn't know if I should, and I did. I cast on the Find Your Fate shawl. So I finished sections 1 and 2. The next section is the color blending, and then I'm into color number 2. So I've knitting my Find Your Fate shawl with Socks That Rock Lightweight, because I have quite a bit of it, and I don't really use it for socks, because I've knit myself 3 pairs of socks out of this yarn, and they have all went through to the garbage bin by now, because they just don't wear all too well. It's 100% superwash merino, so there's no nylon, and I don't want to use it for socks anymore. So my first color is Scottish Highlands. It's one of my favorite colors. I'm quite happy that I'm almost done with this color, because that means I have tons left over, and I'm going to be able to knit a hat or a cowl for myself. The second color is Mesa. And my other colors are not wound yet, because I was being lazy. Color number 3 will be Highway 30. Number 4, Tide Pool. 5, Love in Idleness. 6, Nodding Violet. Oh, what is that? Fabric scraps. That's what you get when you sort your fabric on the floor. And number 7 is Lucy in the Sky. So yeah, this is my Find Your Fate shawl in progress. It's fun to knit. It's very, very easy, actually. But I'm liking it. It's fun. And I love using my Socks That Rock yarn for something, finally. And I will find a good thing to do with the leftovers. So I don't have anything written down for knitting in the future, because I don't know yet. I'm gonna work on these 2 things and pick up another started pair of socks and wait for the perfect project to come across. I'm sorry, I have to drink. So, for spinning, I have a lot of spinning this week. I finished a yarn that I showed last week. It was spun from Fondant Fiber Rolex that I called Hedwig, because it just looks to me like the bird. And I spun these on a new to me wheel. That's why it's absolutely not consistent, but it turned out quite nice. I got 166 meters, 181 yards, 119 grams. And I still really want to find a owl pattern to knit this up with. So that's the first yarn. The second yarn that I finished still needs a bath. I just took it off the bobbin to show it to you. It looks like this. The fiber that I used was from Blue Dog Fibers. And that's what it looks like. I got 142 meters, 155 yards, 110 grams, and it is super pastel-y. It was a fun to spin up because Falkland just spins super easy. And I like how it turned out. But the colors are really not for me, so this will be in my shop. It's going to have a bath, it's going to dry, and it will be in the first update of the year that I hoped to have next weekend. But yeah, as I didn't have any time to make anything for my shop except for a pair of socks and a skein of yarn, I'm not sure if that's going to happen. So we'll see. And then after I finished these two things, I started another one. I got a package in the mail from my lovely friend Debbie, and she sent me the spin-off Winter 2017 that I'm going to show later. And with it, she sent me a skein of frozen camera again. I'm going to flip out on this. So she sent me a beautiful braid of Three Waters Farm fiber. It's a merino silk blend in the Dime Story novel colorway, Three Waters Farm. And I decided to do two equal skeins. No, I don't know if that's the word, but I split my fiber lengthwise down the middle, and I'm going to spin it on two bobbins, and I'm going to ply each separate and have two same skeins. So the first bobbin is finished, and it looks like this. I spun this on my S45 Luette spinning wheel. Because my sidekick is broken. I told you my year is starting off quite bad. So I took out the S45 and I spun up the first half, and this will be chain plied. So I think it's going to be a nice worsted weight, and I want to do some mittens for myself because I don't have mittens. I only have a pair of gloves and I really need mittens. So this is my project to be. Okay. Now, new stuff. I have a bunch of new stuff. I got the Lane magazine. I did look through. It's quite nice, but it's also very expensive. For a magazine, that's quite a lot of money. I paid for 24 euros plus shipping, and you know, 24 euros for a magazine is just a lot of money. And what I really love about it, or in it, is this pattern. Not acceptable to me anymore. Okay, so I really love this sweater, tunic, dress thing. What I don't get, really, and I'm sure I'm going to be hated for it, but that's okay. There's a pattern in here by Stephen West, which is awesome. You know, I love Stephen West, but there is a but. The pattern in here is the Garter Goodness shawl that he released at least half a year ago, and it is it's been a free not a free, it's been a paid for pattern on his Ravelry page, and it's also, I think, in his West Knits Best Knits book, and now it's in this magazine. And I don't get that. Why put a pattern that's been out there for so long in a very new magazine? Wouldn't it be just nicer to make something new? I don't know. So yeah, it's altogether a very nice magazine. There are nice patterns in here, but that just kind of, I didn't like that about it. And the price is just very high for a magazine, I think. So I don't know if I will get more of these. I like it, but yeah, these two things are just not really my style. I don't know. So I don't know how to say it, but it's just not really, I don't get it. So, new yarn. I ordered, between Christmas and New Year, I did order some yarn and it arrived and I'm very happy with what I bought. So, here's my skein. I got 2 skeins of yarn from Long Dog Yarns. This is the first one. It's called Dark Dimension. And this will be a pair of socks for myself. And I also got 221B Baker Street with a pumpkin spice mini. And this will be a pair of socks for my husband with contrasting cuffs, heels, and toes. I love it. I think it's really, really nice. It's my first order with Long Dog Yarns, but I love these. They are really, really pretty. Then another first order. I ordered from Yarn Inc. and she had some, I think there were one-of-a-kind colorways that she just put up, and I saw this one color and she had 3 skeins left and I got all 3 of them because I want to make a sweater out of them for myself. And I'm not going to take them out because they're so perfectly packaged. They don't have a colorway number. They're just called lot number 5. So I'm going to try to squeeze out a sweater for myself out of these 3 skeins. Let's hope it will work. And then, I have talked about this before, I got my Miss Babs yarn. I told you that I did order skein yarn from Miss Babs to knit up the Beacon Hill sweater. And it's called Wolf's Den. That's why I had to have it, and it arrived and it's just so pretty and so perfect. It's gorgeous. This yarn is gorgeous. Don't you think it's a perfect color for me? Browns, grays, black. Perfect. So I think this sweater will be on my needles very soon. I really do. Also, almost forgot about this one here. When I ordered the Main magazine, I ordered a skein of yarn to go with it. So I ordered a skein of Hedgehog Fibers, Skinny Singles, I think it's her name, in the, what are you? The Boombox colorway. I have no idea what to do with it, but it's pretty, so I got it. Yeah, that's it for new stuff. I got a lot of nice yarn, and this is just, oh, it's so gorgeous. I cannot wait to cast this on. Don't you think it's perfect? I do. I think it's perfect. Now, I do not have an indie of the week because I've not worked with European-based indies this week. For reading, listening, watching, I finished, well, I started 2 new shows. I started Scorpion, finished season 1, started season 2, and I started Sleepy Hollow and finished season 1 of that. Both very good. Scorpion is amazing, and Sleepy Hollow is fun to watch. It's just a fun show. So I can recommend both of these. Now for sewing, I do have nothing to show, but I did buy some fabric. I got 3 pieces of clothing fabric. I have to put my yarn back in here. So I got 3 pieces of clothing fabric. The first piece is a crepe, and I've never had a crepe before. So this is really interesting. And it looks like this. It's blue. You know, I bought blue fabric, but it's really nice. It has this Moroccan style print on it, and I think I will make a dress for it, a summer dress, because this crepe is, like every crepe, I guess, very, very nice and drapey and cool. on the skin. So yeah, that's gonna be a dress. Then I got 1.5 meters of this brushed cotton. It's a flannel, and I'm actually not sure which is the right side, but I'm gonna go with this one. It's a plaid, and I got this color because it matches this Ponte di Roma perfectly, and I want to make a dress out of this and maybe a button-down shirt to go under the dress. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, these are my plans. And yeah, that's Ponte di Roma. I got 1.5 meters of each of those, and I hope that's going to be enough for what I want to make. So stay tuned. I hopefully will show these to you sometime soon. Now, there's of course no cross stitch, and for everything else I just have to have one thing to talk about, and it's the combo spin Sal Cal that's going on in my group in collaboration with Debbie and the spin-off group, as she did write a nice article about my way of splitting and combining single braids for sweater quantities. And I do have the magazine here now. It's this issue, Spin-off Winter 2017. And Debbie's article is on page 76 through 81. Yep, 76 through 81. Here are Debbie's wonderful yarns that she spun up with the samples. And you know, just because it's the first time my name is printed in a magazine, I have to show it to you. Can you see it here? Resources. That's my name. I'm very proud of this, I have to say. So, if you do not have this spin-off magazine, you should get it as a real life copy or as a digital copy. It is $8. You know, it's very affordable. And if you're interested in the technique, you can, of course, read Debbie's article or watch bonus episode number 2 on this channel. So, yeah, this is going on and it's going strong. People are going crazy and I love it. I have seen so many beautiful combo spins in the thread. It's blowing my mind. And I'm sorry if I'm not engaging the way I wanted to, but it's just not happening. I have to take care of myself right now. So I just cannot commit to taking care of the group. I'm sorry about that. So, and that's it for this week. I will talk to you again, hopefully very soon. And until then, I'm just gonna wrap it up. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Enjoy everything you do. Bye.